2nd of December, Friday. MAO with Cal once again. BlackRock has $8 trillion assets, but apparently there's withheld some withdrawal in one of their department. What is happening right now? We all know that BlackRock has some investment in FTX. Is it because of FTX right now? The problem is actually brewing. We'll let you know more in detail coming up. Alright, once again, please make sure that you do your risk assessment, and of course, thank you AIMS for the kind sponsorship. Now, some traders are very bullish recently. Apparently, a trader made a $36 million option bets on a year-end stock rally. Now, we all do know that usually the seasonal pattern from probably November onwards to December to January, there will be a stock market rally. Now, that is because the earnings will be fantastic and the share buyback program, and back then itself, the last 12 years, the interest rate environment was at a very low end. So the question is, will this year be different? Okay, so apparently now a trader spent $36 million on a bullish option, and he believed that this call option, this 20,000 contract, should be able to be hitting this 41.75. So which means that, apologize on that, that means that this is going to be a another upside of about, okay, another about probably about 4% to 5% from here itself. All right, if you get it correctly, let me just double check on numbers. Okay, 3%. Okay, so thing is this right now, right? The cost is about $300, ended up $50. Is a gain already. If you actually if the market really goes there, that means that the earning itself can be as much as 152%. Oh, that's a very good deal. So the thing is this, okay? This is where the S&P 500 is trading right now, and of course it's aiming at this target here. Now, is it possible? Well, mathematically and based on the seasonal pattern, it is actually possible. But again, usually when we see these are bets, option bets comes on Bloomberg, I kind of realize that based on my past statistics, it always doesn't really go according to the direction. So example, last two times we saw that they talk about the put options, and people buying a lot of put option and expect the market to go down, the market went up instead. So I'm just wondering, this time round, would that be different? Now, the US dollar plunged on the ADP numbers and the jobless claim last night, and something bad has happened, as you can see on the screen right now. Gosh, okay, this is something that I never expected that to happen. So what happened was that this is the MA200, right? Okay, MA200. Okay, you can see right over here. Now, the MA200 have been a very strong support on the US dollar, and you can see that it actually basically performed this magic around this area here by stopping there and rebounded. But the numbers from the ADP numbers and what Jerome Powell said overnight changes everything, and now the US dollar has broke below the MA200 and is now very faintly supported at the previous peak back in May, which is like a congestion here, and this is where it got supported before the big rally. So now we are back to this point here, and this actually comes to my understanding that there will be traders looking for it to go down lower to 102, but for me, I still think that it's going to go back to 107.80. Now, why do I say that? Because it is still very clear that Jerome Powell has turned dovish, or at least was dovish during his last meeting, and apparently, okay, the Federal Reserve really thinks that they can lower down the pace of the interest rate hiking, but they didn't say that they will not continue to raise hike. Hence, therefore, based on what Boller and Williams says, it is still very feasible and possible for the interest rate to go to 5%. So if that is the case itself, I cannot see why the dollar can't go back to the 107.80 range. But of course, once again, as usual, there's a lot of people not very comfortable with this dollar coming down right now, and they think that the dollar will go down further. So if we look at the latest number, we can see that the GDP numbers has actually went up from 2.7 to 2.9. That is actually positive to the dollar. And if you look at the PCE data, it shows that the inflation is actually kind of reduced. Again, this is actually kind of good for the economy, but of course that means that there's a chance of lesser rate hikes. And the initial jobless claim yesterday came out 225, which is better than the expected. So that means that the economy is still doing fine. So with all these things, right, for the dollar to be trading a bit lower, it doesn't seem much sense. And of course, if you look at the technical part here right now, we are near the low end. Hence, therefore, I still think that the buying should be very, very positive. So let's just bring up the chart right now and see that what I have to share with you. Let's take a look right now. Let me bring it up to you. Okay, here we go. Alright, so this is the US dollar chart as you can see on our screen, and it's trading a bit lower as we're speaking right now. Now the last time we see the RSI trading at this bottom area, which is here around this area, it was at this point. And the time itself, the US dollar was trading at about this 90. And if you notice this, it was also from the age of 89, it went up all the way to 93, and then after that it came back all the way down and created the double bottom area. But what the market did was that it took basically nearly about 1 month or so of consolidating. Then we have the explosive upside. So of course at this moment right now, based on what we're seeing, there is no consolidation, so maybe we haven't seen the bottom yet. But on the flip side, we are pretty near in terms of the technical oversold. I just believe that the market will ding dong slightly higher as we approach tonight NFP figure. So what do you think, guys? For me, I'm looking to buy, but for you, let me know. All right, so going back to this point here, we can see right now the VIX. Now I have been advocating to buy some VIX along the way, and I'm wrong. I gotta admit to this. I was calling for buy at 22 back then, but the market went up to 26. We asked you to take some profit, and then it came back down again. And of course, when it broke 22, I was just saying to you guys, don't do anything first, wait for it go 20. So now the market has came down to 20. Yes, in fact, yesterday closed at 19.84. In my opinion, this is a very good buy area, especially now when everybody is kind of bullish right now. So you can see over here, this is where the first base was, that was at 15. And then after the next base here, we have about 16. The next base here, we had about 18. And this base, we have about 19. And of course, now we are at 19, 20 zone. So to me itself, right, this is a very good bet. And usually it takes about 5 trading days. You can see that about 5 trading days of sideways movement before it engage into a ballistic run. So every time when this happens, you can see that the VIX will just shoot up. So if you're gonna ask me what do I suspect will happen, well, as I said, I still think that the stock market is due for a pullback. And of course, at the same time, if the VIX is at this point right now, I believe that right something might have to come out. So that is the reason why when I saw what happened to BlackRock, I just wonder, is it because there's some problem here? So the S&P 500 right now, let's take a look at the chart, everybody. Let's take a quick look on it. All right, let me just bring it to you. Now this is S&P chart. As you can see, that is moving down very, very steadily. Okay, and I was telling you guys that the market didn't touch the MA 200, right? Okay, so now we have it touching the MA 200. So yesterday and today, I mean last 2 days, the market touched the MA 200. So again, this is what I want. And of course, at the same time, the trend line also got triggered. So guys, it's going to be very simple and upfront here. The so-called turning point is about 4030. Write it down somewhere, guys. So if the market stays above 4030 like today, like now, the market can really go to 4200 based on the technical aspect, because this is where the last sell-off came in. Can you see that? But if the market goes below 4030, then I think that this is what I've been waiting for, the touch and go pullback. Now the volume has came back because after the long weekend and also the typical pullback towards the end of the month, the volume has come back, but the consolidation is a bit of suspect right now. So in my opinion, if the market stays above 4030, the bullishness can bring up to 4200, but 4030 will be a very important thing. Now if you notice this, right, if you'll be studying the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve, you will notice that this last week they have dropped another $32 billion. Okay. So that is showing that the Federal Reserve is actually reducing and basically doing the QT, but the stock market is not affected. Wow, that's interesting. So I wonder where the money comes from, right? So I believe that the Treasury Department got something to do with this. But again, this is my pure speculation. So what is happening now? We have the stock market going up while the Federal Reserve is actually liquidating. This is a good sign in overall aspect. So let's see what will happen from here. Now, Bank of America Strategists, all right, this lady, Savita, she is getting a little bit agey right now. Why is that so? Let me share with you. It's going to be very interesting. All right, so let's just understand this. Okay, so the bank has this so-called sell side indicator, sell side, okay, whereby the average recommended allocation to stock by US sell side strategists remain 2% point of a buy signal. Okay, simply put, in short, when the consensus of the Wall Street basically says that it's time to buy into the market, it becomes a reliable contrarian indicator. Okay, that means that if everybody is calling for buy, usually it will go the opposite. And because this is it's so bullish, right? Usually, right, it may turn bearish instead. Okay, so the thing is that now this particular indicator has actually give the Bank of America some thoughts of it and said they may have to go slow. And of course, JP Morgan also says that there's going to be recent pain coming out for stocks in the coming new year. All right. So this is Morgan Stanley. Mike Wilson says that there could be a double-digit percentage drop in the stock market in the early 2023. Now this is coming like in line with what I've been saying. So he said this, okay, that it's the puff. I mean, no one cares about what's going to happen in the next 12 months. They need to deal with the next 3 to 6 months. So that's what actually we think there's a significant downside. So while 3,900 sounds like a real boring 6 months, that could be a wild ride. In fact, he is actually looking at 3,000 to 3,003 in the first 4 months of the year. Wow. Now, it makes sense because I've been telling you this. The earnings is going to be affected and it'll be reflective in January 2023. And I already did the mathematical calculation. I said that there could be a recession coming in from the 6th or 9th of February onwards, and this is something that we have seen before. So now the thing is, the S&P trading at 39.57, he believes that there is still further downside to go, but he still thinks that the most about 3,009 for this year, and then next year will be even worse in the first 3 months. So in short, he believes that the bear market is not over, and there could be a significant lower low due to the earning forecast. So reminder you, the thing is about the forecast for next year. Now let's go to the big highlight for today, the Blackstone to limit withdrawals from giant real estate fund. Okay, now this is a new finding that was updated. So you can see I just updated this. BlackRock limits withdrawal at $125 billion property fund as investors rush to exit. Now the thing is that property funds should be doing well, property is doing okay, although there's some drop because of the interest rate environment, but still unsure what's happening right now. Now, by the way, this word China, please ignore because I think there's some error here. All right, use the other word that I used for today to get your this spin the wheel, lunch with Cal. All right, the word China is not correct. I think it was left over. There's a new word I used just during on the slide, so use that new one. Yeah, apology on this confusion. Right. So apparently the 69 billion real estate hits redemption limit. Okay. Now, the question is, why is Blackstone limiting this when you have $1 trillion in your asset? And of course, Blackstone seemingly is a sell stake in MGM Grand and Mandalay Bay Hotel. So, okay. So, of course, if you can remember or recall that this FTX problem means big headache for some private equities, and one of the names was BlackRock. So we have SoftBank, we have Tiger Global, Sequential, Lightspeed, and of course our very own Temasek. So that's what I was thinking out loud. If Temasek have invested $200 million with them, so I just feel that maybe BlackRock could have invested a little bit more. Well, it's not known yet. So if that is the case, might have a bit of issue. Yep. So that is one reason why I'm kind of concerned right now for BlackRock. And if you look at the chart on BlackRock, you can see very clear that this particular counter, okay, there's a bit of there's some error here. You can see over here itself, BlackRock was about $150 back in early January this year, and now it has traded all the way down to $85. So from $150 to $85 is more than 40%. So the stock market for the Dow Jones is down by only 9% from where the high to the current level now. For the stock to be down by 40%, it's not a good sign. And of course, if you look at the technical aspect here itself, every time when it hit the channel upper band, the market pulls back. And now it's trading below the MA200. That gives me a little bit more worry feel. And yesterday we saw the share price coming down by 7%, at one stage down by 10%. All these are no good. Now, huge volume came in with the earnings coming out in late January. I strongly believe that this counter got more downside room to go. So I'm going to give a call to see that this counter may hit $70 in the near 2-3 months. Okay, so the current price now is at $85 based on the technical, based on the channel. It has been pretty reliable. That means that $70 is on its way. All right. Okay, so this is one of the latest information that I just got for you. Apparently, just came out hot from the stove, right? This the Florida decided to pull $2 billion from BlackRock in the largest anti-ESG divestment. All right, so this is getting very interesting right now, and of course, the move shouldn't dent any of the $8 trillion asset, right? But it's just that it's gonna. If one has to draw, the rest have to draw. I think that is where the problem is. And we've seen it before in Lehman Brothers. We've seen it before in FTX. Just hope that this is not going to be the catalyst for the market pullback. Yep. All right. So just general reminder, guys. Tomorrow is my preview. More than 50 of you have signed up. Thank you once again. Tomorrow will be a lot of technical stuff to share with you. And of course, there's some stocks that you wanted me to share about. I'll talk about that later during the session. So quickly now, at the bottom of this. In the comment box itself, my the how to register, the form link is over there. Quickly register. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. By the way, we have already released the Zoom link to people who are registered. So quickly check our email now and see to get more details. All right. Okay, so let's look at the market for today. Now today is NFP. So usually NFP day, non-farm payroll day, we usually go slow because we know that the market will go erratic, and of course we're not going to be surprised that the market go up and down during the entire session. Okay, so what we have right now, guys, this is the numbers that we have for you. Okay, let me just show it to you right now. This is the KFC level. So as long as the market stays above 33,031, the market is bullish. I've been sharing with you. This one, I'm going to skip this. Now this is the one that I want to share with you. Okay, guys, take a look. Now this is the 95% mark. This is the 90% mark. This is the 92.5. Okay, so brilliantly, the last time we did this, the market stopped perfectly right here, and then it went down all the way, okay, to the 77.5%, and this is where it stopped there brilliantly. So now it has rebounded all the way and hit the 92.5. Okay, the question is, it came back down, then it recovered a strong BNB. So today, this number 34,181 is a key highlight. As long as the Dow Jones stays above 34,181, the Dow should be able to go back up again to 35,000. Okay, so take note of this. If the market goes up, we can see it going back to 35,000. I'm going to just do a bit of writing for you guys. Let me see a moment. Okay, so this number here itself is 34,181. Okay, so if the market basically stays above it, that's good. Then it will be going up again to 35,105. But if it loses 34,181, then the selling should be able to bring it back down to 33,258. Okay, so traders, take note of these few numbers because that is something that you need to take note. Okay, now the resistance at the RSI seemingly is calling for bullishness. So usually if it's so bullish, you need to draw a triangle like this. So as long as the market stays above this trade within a triangle, the market is still going to go for this figure at 35,105. But if the market fell, then 31,181 is a strong support. It has to stay. If not, 33,258 will be next. All right, pretty cool? Yes, indeed. All right, let me clear the screen. All right, next market now. Let's take a look here. Okay. Oops, I need to do something to it. Is it? Let me just see what can I do that. Hide cursor, capture cursor. Okay, I cannot do this. Okay, I need to just pause a little bit. Alright guys, this is the US Dow Jones right now. We can see pretty clear that the new BNB was done 2 days ago, and the resistance level is at 34,627, and yesterday the Dow tapped past it and pulled back. So the market tapped the resistance level and pulled back. So today we're going to see a strong support at 34,207. Now, if the market can stay above it, the market could challenge back again the MLP, which is 34,498. But if the market loses 34,207, then we believe that the market will pull back down to the MA30, which is 33,743. Now take note guys, my KSI is green, but my KRW has turned red. The last time we saw something like this itself, right, the market pulled back a little bit. But once the market turns to cyan and the KSI retained green, bang, that's where the market shot up. Can you see that? Okay. So now, let's take a look. If the market really, the KRW turns back to cyan, then we could see the Dow going all the way up to 35,656. But on the same notation here, the last time we saw this whereby the KRW turns red, the KSI was still green. But once you can see that the KSI turned red and the KRW is red, the market slowed down quite a fair bit, even when the market rallied over here. Now, back then, many investors were saying that, traders were saying that, the market is going up, your indicator is wrong. But I say, look, the market was pumping up, right? The market was up quite a fair bit. It's up by almost 1,800 points, 1,700 points at one stage over 3 trading days. But you can see after that itself, right, the KSI retained red, and then what happened? Bang, the market collapsed 3,800 points in the next 15 trading days. So you can understand that traditional indicators will have called you to buy, right? But for mine, we will actually say no, and we were all ready for this to turn around. So believe it or not, at the moment now, we don't have the same similar pattern, but I still think that the market is due for a bit of pullback. So watch out for 33,743, all right? So for the NASDAQ, a quick one right now, the NASDAQ has stayed above 11,976. KSI is also green, but same thing, the KRW is actually red. That's not a good sign. The reason why the NASDAQ is strong now is because of the US dollar. So as long as the US dollar retain on the downside, this NASDAQ should find upside stream to 12,169. But if, let's say, the dollar recover as what I mentioned, then we have a bit of problem, okay? Now, S&P 500, let's take a quick look right now. S&P 500 is now above the BNB RL at 4046. So as long as the market today stays above 4057, everything is good. Now, all these numbers you see on the screen is all fully calculated by the system. So as long as you know how to utilize the system, you can be able to trade the market. But same thing here, the KSI and the KRW is doing a bit different direction right now. So that's why I want you to go slow for today, okay? This is very, very important information. Now, for oil market, well, we can see the oil market is showing us a bit of sign here. Let me just show you something interesting. You can see that since this point here, the KRW already turns to positive. Even though the boy was offloading it, the KRW turned positive. That's how you can see the price moving up. Okay, but today, take note, today the pivot 2 is at $81.76. And if the market breaks below $80.92, there could be some profit taking. And of course, still in mind, we all know that if the price is going upwards, but the KSI is red, you do not want the market to break below the support level. Then for today's support is also seemingly the same level with the BNB RL level. So 79.87 is a strong support. It cannot break. If not, right, the market may pull back all the way down to 76.27 mark. Okay. All right, just to skip this, I missed it, the China market. Now, the China market has basically tapped to my technical trend line and failed to go above it, and it's now below the MA 200. So a bit of pullback is kind of happening right now. Now, the news are saying that China is opening up, and that's why the market went up. But seemingly, the people are not really happy with that, and still there's some press ongoing on. So I believe that the China market may have to pull back all the way here to 12,280 to find any form of support. Okay, so that's the reason why you can see the Hang Seng at the moment now is also losing steam at the moment. You can see that the Hang Seng is up, but because it's trading below the pivot 2 for today, if the Hang Seng stay below OP, usually there'll be some selling, and it's possible to see 17,588 MA 30 level. Okay, so let's just move on and let's see the gold market. Now you can see the brilliance of the gold. Let me just hold on. Let me just do my change around here. Now gold market has been very positive. It has broken up the CCRY pattern over the BNB RL level, break to 1787. Congratulations to those who have been buying. For today, 1790 is the key support right now. It has to stay above 1790 for today. Alright, 1785 is MLP, that should be the base support. KSI is green, means the buyers are coming in. KCX is blanco, that means the bullishness is still there for this particular market. For silver, well, you can see that it has hit $22.73. I've been calling for buy on silver for the longest of time, and I think that it's time to be careful, because while the KSI retained red, but the KCX is blank. So that means that it's still positiveness, but there are some profit taking by the boys. So a pullback down to about $21.60 will be a better bet if you would ask me. All right. Last but not least, the two cryptocurrency. Now let's take a look over crypto. This is Ethereum. Ethereum is showing positiveness, KSI green, blank bars here. So ever since this point here is a buy call, and you can see the market really went up. So now the 1286 MLP will be the first resistance for today, and the top side is 1333. Okay, so 1333 is the resistance, the extension upside. So if the Ethereum goes up there, do consider take some profit right here. All right. Now for Bitcoin has also broke above the BNB RL, which is at this 16811. So it missed the target 16416 by a little bit. It's okay. So as long as the market stays above the BNB RL, which is 16811, the target is still at 17416 target. All right. KSI and KCX are both positive right now, so that is a bit of chance it is possible. All right, guys. So that will be all for today. The non-farm payroll result come out at 9:30 p.m. Singapore time. Do pay attention to details. So for those who are trading the market, just go slow or reduce trading, or consider take a day off for today, because you never know what will happen and you don't be caught by that. All right, guys. Tomorrow's my preview. I'll see you tomorrow. This is Kel signing off. Bye bye.